YouTube, how's it going? So, I have been lucky enough again to offer a exclusive look into one of iSTAT's new products here. So what we have here is the essentially, as you can see, the iSTAT Compact Advanced Digital Thermostat. Now, if you guys remember, I did a view on the, essentially, if you like, the big brother or the big daddy to this, the iSTAT Plus, which I have in use since my video, which was, it's been quite some time now, to be honest with you. And to be honest, there's not really been any issues whatsoever with that stat. Been working fine since the day I got it. Made the video for it, obviously the walkthrough, how it works, how to set it up, all that sort of jazz. It's been on, well actually yeah, it's been on over 365 days, 24/7, for the past year and a bit now, and that's still going strong, no issues. So iSTAT, fantastic products. But anyway, enough of that. So as you can see, the iSTAT Compact, it is a lot smaller than the iSTAT, the bigger version that I have. And just to show you guys exactly how small it is, here is a probably out of focus £10 note. And you can see it's about the height of a £10 note. And in comparison with the length, of which is not fitting into frame too well, but you can see it is actually, a £10 note covers it pretty much straight away. But enough of that. So what you'll notice straight away is obviously the colour. Probably. I was sent a red iSTAT from iSTAT, obviously. They do come in things like obviously white, black, and I'm pretty sure that they'll do most colours if you ask them. So they sent me a red one. I didn't ask for a red one, I just said send me something. They sent me a red one, thankful for that. Obviously, as you guys can see on the box, there's a white one on the box. And obviously they go from there. So next thing you'll notice, apart from the fact that it's bright red, is probably the display. The display there, as mentioned earlier, you can see is the temperature. That is real-time temperature. That is the temperature of the probe, which is in my hand beside me here. The probe is here. As you can see, it's a decent size out of focus probe. No, it's a decent size probe, and it's fairly accurate, to be honest with you. And when I say fairly accurate, I mean just as accurate as its sibling that we have. So it's within about, to be honest, I have a small thermometer from a large Reptile brand. I have another temperature stat, which is used because I have quite in the Bosk's Viv now, I have quite a large wattage like tube heaters. I've got a couple of those, so they all run off one big like industrial stat. So that tells temperature, and this obviously tells temperature. And between those, they were within about 0.2, I think it was, at the very most, sort of degree out. And obviously this doesn't show 26.6 or 26 anything. But what I did was, if this said 26, one of the others may have said 25.8 or 26.2. So that's the sort of range that I was working in there. So 0.2 of a degree is literally, in this day and age and in this world, pretty much nothing. Next thing you'll probably notice is that it doesn't have a touch screen. It has a rather satisfying twisty knob which clicks. The modes that it has a pulse mode, which is brilliant for like ceramics, like ceramic bulbs, ceramic tubes, ceramic anything. Where, for you guys that don't know, let's say you want it at 26, it will get up to 26, and then it will essentially, forgive my very poor acting, if this is on and this is off, it will just blip the ceramic on and off, on and off, on and off, like that to keep the temperature. Maybe not even this quick. It might be like this. It could be anything. It has a dimmer mode, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's just like the dimmer switch you might have in your front room there. It'll be 100% on the... Now, the dimmer, sorry, is brilliant for bulbs, like bulbs that emit lights. So it'll be on 100% till it reaches target temperature. Then as it's getting closer to the target, let's say 26 again, it will then start to gradually decrease the amount of power going to the light, thus decreasing the temperature being emitted. And then once it's hit target, it'll go from there. It has an on-off mode, which again, it's like your normal light switch you might have in your bedroom, on, off sort of thing. Brilliant for heat mats. It'll be on 100% till it hits that temperature, then it will go off until it fluctuates down to however you've got it fluctuated to be set. So let's say 5 degrees, so it'll be on to 27, turn off, and then it'll go down to 22, and then it'll kick back on, go up to 27, go off. It has a cooling mode, which is brilliant for people with reptile rooms with sensitive reptiles inside. So you can hook it up to things like fans and such. So let's say you have a room and you're on top of a Bosk's Viv. Let's say I have an Exoterra with some crested geckos in, or maybe a chameleon or something. By the way, I don't have a chameleon, so this may be incorrect. But let's say you don't want it to go above 27. What it'll do is it'll monitor that. When it hits 27, it will then turn fans on or whatnot, any cooling that you have, to drop the temperature or to keep the temperature at 27 and not go above and beyond. It has a continuous mode, which essentially is for humidity. It works pretty much the same as an on-off mode would for temperature. I'll go into that a bit more in a bit. It has a burst mode for humidity, which is essentially it'll read the humidity every 5 minutes, and depending on how close the actual humidity is away from your target, it will vary the amount of time that like sprayers or misters or whatnot are active. It does Celsius and Fahrenheit, which is a pretty standard these days, and it will cover in Celsius, it'll cover between 10 and 60 degrees C and between 40 and 140 degrees Fahrenheit, and humidity between obviously 0 and 100. So to quickly go through how to set it up. So before I go into the features and how to click on them, just a quick way of setting it up. So now it's in pulse mode, taking out the box, plug it in, default is going to be pulse mode. If that's brilliant for you, excellent. So to set that up, to set the temperature, if you don't want it to be at 27, literally, because this dial that spins very satisfyingly click by click left and right, clicks in as well, and if you click that in, it will flash, and obviously you then set. So this is me very poorly angled, sorry, changing temperature. As you can see, it's flashing, changing. It's in degrees C as standard, as default, sorry. So it will go all the way up to 60 C and all the way down to 10 C. And then obviously to select, just press it in again real quick. To go into like the feature mode, so let's say that you have a bulb and you don't want it on dimmer. Sorry, you have a bulb and you don't want it on pulse, you want it on a dimmer. You would press and hold it in, but just for a little bit longer this time until you see the functions there. So F1 is function 1, that's a pulse mode. F2, function 2, that's a dimmer mode. F3 is on off. F4 is cooling mode. F5 is continuous mode for humidity. F6 is burst mode for the humidity. And then do you want it in degrees C? Would you like it in degrees Fahrenheit? And E stands for exit, which will then, upon pressing, obviously just take you back to the start there. Sorry, back to the main screen. But if we go into this, let's say you want it to be on off mode for a heat mat. So you'd go in, you'd wait for it to come up F1, and you'd click it along until you get to F3. You would then press, it'll flash. That is now on F3, function 3, which is your on-off mode. Let's say you want to go to dimmer, or you've accidentally selected, let's say you actually meant to go for dimmer, but you went over one and you went F3. Go back, press in, flash, done. Go back to the main screen, go all the way to the right. You can't really go any further. And till it says E, which is exit, press, you go back to the main screen where the scrolly wheel is locked and you have your temperature readout. So you've changed it to dimmer and 27's a bit too hot. Press in and change it to whatever you want, and then press to save it at that. And now what that'll be doing is that'll be, because obviously it's 26 and I think I've just set it to 57 there, that'll be putting 100% power out to the 3-pin adapter here, which obviously I don't have plugged into anything while doing this video, to get the probe, which I have here, to hit the target temperature, just like a stat works. Now, you may have seen a massive rise in the popularity of like iStat's products. They have literally over the past year or so flown off the shelves, out of warehouses and essentially out of the country as well. They now supply like the United States, Australia, places like this. You can go and pick up like the iStat products, which is fairly good, to be honest with you. And to be honest, in terms of pricing, with the competitors, they're really bang on. In terms of, they've got the price pretty much on the head. The feedback that you see on their Facebook page, which actually I'll leave a link in the description to their Facebook page and to their website if you want to order one of these, or one of the bigger daddies, if you like, from them directly. The feedback that you can see on there just speaks volumes, and the products as well, the quality of the products is fantastic. I mean, the box, it's essentially just clean as anything. I mean, the design, the wording, the way that they've like gone about doing it is just fantastic. The actual stat itself as well, it feels robust. I mean, like I said, my little girl Hannah, 4 years old, she's walked past, she pulls wires, she knocks things off. She's had a good go at this, and to be honest, it still works. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying that like other thermostats or whatever aren't going to work. I'm pretty sure if she pulled off my industrial one that I have for the ceramic tubes, I'm pretty sure that they would still continue to work as well. But I mean, for something so small, you expect it to be delicate. You expect it to be like, oh, it's going to fall off, it's going to break, it's going to do this, it's going to do that, and it doesn't. I mean, yep, it's only been a couple of days that I've had it, but you guys obviously don't know Hannah, because anything new she will just go for. It doesn't matter if it interests her in any way, shape or form. She will go for it, ask what it is, want to touch it, want to knock it around, and she, unfortunately, yeah, she's done that, but it still works. Just like the bigger one. When I got the bigger one, she was interested in that, especially with the display and whatnot, which is why it's so good that the bigger one actually has a lock screen, so little fingers can't go in and change settings. But this one as well, though, I mean, it's fantastic. Just to put it into sort of perspective for you guys, what I've used it on, I've used it on Hunter, the Bosks. I've used it on both her smaller ceramic that she has in there. So obviously taken off the industrial one or turned it off for the larger ceramic tubes. Put in like a 250 watt ceramic bulb. Used it on that. On the pulse setting, obviously. Then swapped it over to her pars and put it on obviously the dimmer mode for them. Brilliant sort of temperature keeping, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video. It's been on the heat mat for the Boas, heat mat for the Cresty. Past couple of days has been a bit less than ideal temperature wise up north anyway. It's been on the ceramic for like the other snakes in the house here, and it's, to be honest, it's worked well. I mean, I'd replace all my other stats with these, especially, to be honest, the industrial one. If I had two of these to run the 300 watt industrial tubes that I have, I would do that in a heartbeat over one of the industrial ones that I use. And that's not just to brown nose as you might think. It's just generally the way that I would go about. A, because this thing looks a lot better than the big ceramic, big industrial thing I have. And B, because the temperature keeping works fine. The features that it have are all brilliant as well. And the fact that obviously the humidity and things, that's going to be really good for like frogs, or like anything that you need to keep like humid and things. I mean, unfortunately, I don't know any off the top of my head now in my collection. I don't have anything that needs to be kept humid in terms of like fog or things like that. Yep, the Cresty gets sprayed down but it's not something where I need a fogger on or something like you would with frogs. So that side of things is brilliant. It's good that they've included it in there, because I don't know another thermostat that will deal with temperature and humidity. Fair enough, not at the same time, and granted this isn't at the same time, but temperature and humidity in terms of like the features to do it. I could use this. The versatility basically is what I'm trying to get at. I can use this on the Hunter in the morning, switch it over to the Cresties during the afternoon, and then if I had frogs, put it on for the frogs in the evening. Obviously that's not plausible, but the features are there, and it's brilliant for that. But apart from that, I would definitely say it's worth its weight in gold. Pricing obviously depends where you get it from. I'd head over to iSTAT's website or their Facebook to find either a price that they'll do for you, or alternatively to find like a reptile store or a reptile like stockist near which would be able to supply you with one. But also they're also expanding quite a lot. I mean, I looked at their Facebook page today at work, and I think they took on another 2 or 3 stores. That's today. Yesterday they took on a couple more. Tomorrow I'm sure they're going to be more. I mean, they're just flying, to be honest. Right, left and centre. Just unit after unit are being sold. And obviously the colours as well, the colouring that you guys can have, as mentioned before, is just so vast as well. But enough of that, guys. Literally, I'd get one of these if I was you, any day. But until next time, guys, comment, rate, subscribe, all that fancy jazz. And I'll be back, I think, next week with a couple more videos. I've got some time off next week. Going to do a couple more reptile videos. And until then, catch you later.